Hello, everyone. Today we're going to learn about Diddy's lawsuits. There is no deal that the U.S. Prosecutor's Office could propose, and certainly no deal that Diddy would accept, as it would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about a music mogul, and Diddy will end up behind bars. A judge has denied his bail, saying there is no condition that would make her believe he would show up for future hearings. The judge stated, "My concern is that this is a crime that took place behind closed doors. One day, we will publicly reveal the identities of others besides Sean Combs, and that list is already long. Of course, I know some of them, but due to the nature of this case, we will ensure that we are correct before doing so." Right now, things are chaotic for Diddy, with a high-profile case drawing significant attention. It's no surprise that authorities are closely monitoring his every move, and it can be said that their suspicions are not unfounded. From reaching out to the victims right from the start of the case to now being caught trying to contact witnesses, Diddy's actions are drawing attention and raising alarms. But wait. The situation gets even more complicated, with reports suggesting that Diddy has dragged his own children into the mess, pressuring them to help clean up the chaos he's caused. And if that wasn't bad enough, a leaked recording of Diddy admitting his mistakes has surfaced, causing his legal team to fall apart. Yes, his attorneys just dropped out of the case, and with the walls closing in, it seems Diddy's empire is crumbling faster than anyone could have imagined. Diddy's legal troubles have now reached a new low, and the charges against him are overwhelming. Prosecutors accuse the music mogul of doing everything possible to tilt the scales in his favor for the upcoming trial, from making unauthorized phone calls using other inmates' accounts to possibly trying to coach witnesses from within prison. The tactics Diddy is alleged to be using are raising serious red flags, and it doesn't stop there. A notebook confiscated from his cell is said to contain information that prosecutors claim points to obstruction of justice, while his defense team argues that these notes are protected by client-attorney privilege. However, the court has yet to accept this viewpoint. When you're in custody, your phone calls can and will be recorded. Clearly, you and I, being free individuals, have the right to prevent this from happening. But when in prison, there's no need for a search warrant or wiretap to record calls. In fact, judges have repeatedly denied Diddy's bail requests, citing his attempts to interfere with witnesses. In a filing, prosecutors stated that Diddy used secret methods to contact people outside of prison, and the evidence collected clearly shows that the defendant's goal was to blackmail victims and witnesses, coercing them into silence or forcing them to provide testimony favorable to his defense. These types of accusations are typically seen in mafia cases or Mexican-style mafia cases. Diddy's legal battle is turning into a high-stakes drama, with prosecutors unveiling explosive new allegations against the embattled music mogul. Court records reveal that Diddy used other inmates' accounts to make unauthorized calls, an action prosecutors claim was a deliberate attempt to evade law enforcement oversight. The allegations don't stop there. According to the records, Diddy is also said to have instructed his associates to pay prisoners for access to their account numbers, using payment apps and depositing funds into inmate service accounts as part of this scheme. The calls, prosecutors allege, were made not only to individuals on a contact list approved by Diddy, but also to those not on the list, raising further concerns about his attempts to obstruct justice. However, Diddy's legal team is not giving up without a fight. They are pushing for a $50 million bail request with 24/7 monitoring, arguing that his current detention conditions prevent him from properly preparing for his trial. Meanwhile, prosecutors accuse Diddy of even running social media campaigns from inside prison, including one involving a witness they claim was paid to counter damaging allegations. In a recent 30-page filing, prosecutors requested that the judge deny Diddy's latest bail request until his trial on May 5th. But in reality, prosecutors have the evidence, literally. Under the leadership of U.S. Attorney Damon Williams, the U.S. Attorney's Office has unveiled crucial evidence that could completely dismantle Diddy's defense and leave no room for denial. In a nationwide campaign inspecting Bureau of Prisons facilities, investigators uncovered handwritten notes in Diddy's cell, which prosecutors argue clearly demonstrate his calculated attempts to obstruct justice. These notes, combined with recorded phone calls made from prison, paint a chilling picture of relentless efforts to manipulate witness testimony. Prosecutors are not relying on rumors, they have concrete evidence. According to the records, the seized documents directly link Diddy's efforts to blackmail victims and witnesses, coercing them into silence or forcing them to provide testimony favorable to his defense. Prosecutors also highlight his actions outside the prison walls, including organizing social media campaigns and leaking documents to manipulate public perception, and even worse, contaminating the jury pool. They accuse Diddy of using third parties to contact witnesses as part of his scheme. Diddy's legal team has acknowledged that the music mogul violated phone regulations at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. This admission came after prosecutors presented clear evidence of Diddy's actions, making it almost impossible to deny the allegations. In a court filing on November 21st, Diddy's attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, admitted that the rapper used other inmates' phone cards to make unauthorized calls, which clearly violated federal prison rules. The prison's policy states that inmates are not allowed to possess another inmate's phone number, cannot allow others to use their phone number, and must immediately report any violation of phone numbers to staff. Although Shapiro argued that sharing phone numbers between inmates is a common practice at MDC, this does not change the fact that prosecutors have solid evidence linking Diddy's phone abuse to attempts to influence witnesses and manipulate public opinion. Here's what Shapiro said in defense of her client. The use of other inmates' phone numbers is also a common practice at MDC and is not an obstruction of justice. Shapiro wrote in a filing to Judge Arun Subramanian that inmates frequently share calling time, with each call limited to 15 minutes and only one call allowed per hour. The government has no evidence to suggest that Mr. Combs' use of other phone numbers was any different from his use of his own. If anything, Combs having to share calling time shows that conditions at MDC do not allow for adequate trial preparation. Although technically prohibited by BOP, Bureau of Prisons policy, the BOP has effectively turned a blind eye to this behavior, with all calls being monitored. Given the undeniable evidence, it is no surprise that Diddy's legal team chose to acknowledge the violation rather than risk causing further damage to his already crumbling defense. As Diddy's attorneys pointed out, the case involved the seizure of documents protected by attorney-client privilege, which is sure to create an interesting situation for consideration. Despite the overwhelming evidence piling up against him, Diddy's legal team remains optimistic, holding out hope that he may still be granted bail. Whether this is a genuine belief or merely wishful thinking is something no one can predict. However, Diddy's legal team is taking every possible step, including preparing a luxurious 3-bedroom apartment in New York City's Upper East Side to serve as his home under house arrest. In a recent court filing with many redacted sections, the defense team revealed that they had hired a security expert to assess the apartment, which includes installing cameras and other security measures to ensure strict monitoring. While the specific address has not been made public, Attorney Mark Agnifilo argues that this location is entirely suitable for Diddy if the court decides to grant him bail. However, whether the judge will view this as a legitimate effort to comply with the conditions or just another maneuver by Diddy's team to exploit the system remains to be seen. With the gravity of the charges and the strong evidence of his wrongdoing, granting bail may still be a difficult challenge. Regarding the phone calls everyone has been talking about, it turns out that one of the recorded calls, which is now circulating on the internet, has caused Diddy even more trouble. And let me tell you, the consequences don't look good at all. This leaked audio not only subtly implies that Diddy is trying to coordinate moves from within prison, but it directly exposes him. In the call, Diddy is allegedly heard instructing his children to handle certain tasks on his behalf. This is not harmless fatherly advice, but rather directions to help Diddy cover up evidence related to his case. If Diddy's children are involved in this, they could face charges of obstruction of justice, pulling his own kids into trouble, a reckless and desperate move. Meanwhile, Diddy's team is struggling to spin the narrative. Insiders are amplifying stories about how much Diddy misses his children, claiming he's on the verge of a mental breakdown. They are painting the picture of a loving father simply trying to connect with his family, saying it's heartbreaking to see his children in their current situation. To them, he's not Diddy the music mogul, but Dad. He has always been a loving, devoted father. However, here's the interesting twist. This alleged devotion doesn't exactly align with the leaked phone call. And if that weren't enough, another insider has revealed more information, claiming that Diddy's real concern isn't about his children, but about winning the game and having the last laugh. This offers a different perspective on his priorities. However, prison is not offering special treatment to Diddy, regardless of what strings he might be pulling behind the scenes. According to insiders, he is being treated just like any other inmate awaiting trial. Like all public figures in his situation, Diddy has been placed on self-harm watch as a precautionary measure upon being admitted to the detention facility. With mounting evidence from seized records, cell searches, and now a leaked phone call circulating online, Diddy's situation is worsening more than ever, and this latest revelation could be the fatal blow to his defense. Rumors suggest that Diddy's legal team, which has been desperately trying to salvage his sinking career, is starting to abandon the case, as it could have catastrophic consequences for their own careers. As Diddy's team struggles to limit the damage from the leaked evidence of his attempts to obstruct justice, it seems that the door is opening for others to step forward and present further evidence of the crimes Diddy has long been suspected of. A prime example is the mysterious death of Kim Porter. Over the years, there have been whispers surrounding the circumstances of her sudden death, with many questioning the official story. The courtroom drama reached its peak when Courtney Burgess, a longtime friend of Kim Porter, Diddy's late girlfriend, stepped forward with revelations that could potentially destroy what remains of Diddy's crumbling empire. Burgess not only spoke out, but also revealed shocking information. According to his testimony, Porter had given him a collection of flash drives before her death, and the contents are said to be heavy enough to pull Diddy and several major Hollywood figures into an unexpected scandal. Burgess claims that the flash drives contain videos, documents, and even a manuscript that Porter had been working on titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. This is not just a memoir, but an exposé, a book meant to uncover what she believed to be the darkest corners of Diddy's world. From shocking footage of Diddy's infamous parties to his connections with celebrities and vulnerable, potentially criminal situations, the manuscript promises to reveal secrets that could further tarnish Diddy's already damaged reputation. Burgess claims that these flash drives contain enough evidence to shake the entertainment industry, including the names of 8 celebrities who attended Diddy's parties, 6 men and 2 women. The flash drives also include a manuscript of a memoir that Porter is said to have written, a memoir that her 4 children have denied as being authentic. But it doesn't stop there. According to Burgess, some of the footage on these flash drives allegedly features underage individuals at Diddy's parties, filmed without their consent. If true, this would elevate the severity of the situation to a whole new level, potentially not only destroying Diddy's career, but also tarnishing his entire legacy. These revelations are no longer just whispered rumors in Hollywood. They are now echoing loudly in a courtroom. Why did Kim Porter give these flash drives to Burgess? The simple answer is fear. Burgess testified that in the months leading up to her death, Porter believed her life was in serious danger. She had confided in her closest friends that Diddy's behavior was becoming increasingly erratic and controlling. According to Burgess, Porter made him promise that if anything unusual happened to her, he would make these recordings and manuscripts public. Now, with her death, Burgess says he is simply fulfilling that promise. Burgess stated, "I believe that his opiate addiction changed his life and changed who he was. He truly is an addict." But why did Kim Porter give these flash drives to Burgess in the first place? According to his testimony, Porter was genuinely afraid for her life in the months before her death. She believed that if something were to happen to her, it wouldn't be a coincidence. In fact, she had shared with some of her closest friends that Diddy was becoming increasingly paranoid and controlling. Burgess testified that Porter made him promise to make the recordings and manuscripts public if anything unusual happened to her. Now, with her death, Burgess says he is simply keeping that promise. He also added, "I think that anyone could do it. I think he's very capable of doing it. That's his personality. That's what comes with power, with arrogance. That's what makes him who he is, and that selfishness is what makes him like this." Now, with Burgess's testimony and the mysterious flash drives emerging, there is a real opportunity that we will finally learn the truth about what really happened to Kim Porter. The detectives didn't even check her body on the bed where she passed away, as the coroner's office removed her body and declared her dead, informing the detectives that there were no signs of foul play. If this is true, as I have heard and read on some internet sources, this case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim had some documents related to this case. What takes everything to a whole new level are the potential consequences of these videos. According to Burgess, at least 8 major celebrities are recorded in these videos, and some of them are even more famous than Diddy. One of the most shocking parts of Burgess's testimony is when he suggests that at least 2 of the people in these videos were actually minors at the time. To clarify, no names have been revealed, but Burgess's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, has confirmed that these videos are real and expose some of the darkest secrets of Hollywood. It has been 27 years since Tupac was fatally shot, and for the Shakur family, the pain from the unanswered questions remains very fresh. NPR points out that the jealousy and rivalry Tupac faced during his career's peak might have played a role in his sudden death. However, with recent developments like last year's arrest in Vegas related to Tupac's case, the Shakur family hopes that the remaining pieces of this unsolved case will finally come together. NPR states, "In the world of hip-hop, Tupac was the king, the pinnacle of rap, and that comes with a lot of envy, jealousy, and everything. All I can think is that there were groups of people who were jealous, envious, and full of hatred toward him." There has been much speculation over the years regarding Diddy's involvement in Tupac's death, particularly related to the East Coast-West Coast feud in hip-hop during the 90s. While there is no concrete evidence linking Diddy to the case, the resurfacing of these allegations in the context of Diddy's current legal troubles has fueled these rumors. As more revelations emerge about Diddy's alleged activities, including his connections to the mysterious death of Kim Porter, Tupac's family believes this is the right moment to seek answers. NPR's words are clear. "This is a case that's still ongoing for our family. My family has been pursuing the investigation from the very beginning, but nothing happened. We still don't have answers after 27 years." Amid the belief that Kim Porter may have had evidence and the renewed push from the Shakur family for justice, Diddy could genuinely be in danger. Although Diddy strongly denied involvement in Tupac's death in 2008, suspicions surrounding his name have continued to grow over the years. The famous music mogul claimed at that time that the story was absolutely ridiculous and completely false. Neither I nor Biggie, who has passed, knew anything about any attacks before, during, or after the incident occurred. It is a total lie to suggest that either I or Biggie were involved. However, NPR Shakur stated bluntly in an interview with Piers Morgan that he still doubts Diddy's denial. "My family is still dealing with the aftermath of my brother's assassination. My family is still in pain, so this fight continues to uncover the truth." In a new twist in the ongoing legal battle, federal prosecutors have strongly opposed Diddy's legal team, accusing them of attempting to manipulate the criminal case for their benefit. Diddy's defense attorneys are pushing for the early disclosure of key evidence, including the identities of whistleblowers, a request that prosecutors strongly oppose. The government argues that this request is not only premature, but also clearly illegal, and is part of a larger strategy to undermine their case while preparing for potential civil lawsuits. The actions of Diddy's defense team are seen as attempts to bypass criminal procedures, which not only violates the law, but could also endanger the safety of relevant witnesses. Prosecutors have also requested a restraining order to stop the whistleblower's lawyers from speaking to the press, arguing that the leaks are threatening the integrity of the case. They contend that Diddy's defense team's request is merely an attempt to conceal the government's evidence early on in the process. Furthermore, they point out that Diddy's strategy of using the criminal case as a shield against potential civil lawsuits is legally unfounded, urging the judge to dismiss this request. With such high stakes, this legal battle highlights the increasing tension in Diddy's fight on multiple fronts, and the consequences for his future are growing increasingly uncertain.